Does my cat even love me? He's looking at me right now, but is he looking at me or is he looking through me? I honestly don't know. I didn't grow up with a cat. I didn't grow up with any pets. Growing up, my parents thought that animals were disgusting and they belonged outside. So I never dreamed of having a cat, a dog, not even a fish. Fish seemed not worth it to me. Birds seemed not worth it to me. I always, I guess, wanted a dog in like the peripheral of my thoughts, but I knew it wasn't going to happen while I lived there. And then I didn't live there anymore, and I was poor. I could barely take care of myself. How the hell was I going to afford an animal? And then I was given a cat in April of this year. And, well, in theory, that sounds nice, you know? Whenever I saw, specifically, when I saw that Jen M was given a dog for her birthday, I thought that was so nice. You know, I was jealous of her. That just seems like the best present ever. It was such a moment. And, you know, I ached for that. But I've now come to realize it's nice in theory. If you're not prepared to receive an animal, it's not exactly the best gift. And in hindsight, I was going through a lot in that time that the person who gave me this gift didn't know about. And I probably should have said no. But I wasn't really in the mental space to say no to something that was so convoluted. Like, I'm 29. This girl was like 24. Who gets somebody a fucking cat? It just seems silly. And, well, they did it. And I accepted it because a small part of me, you know, wanted to feel like Jen Im. And I've always liked cats. I grew up to realize I was definitely more of a cat person than a dog person, but everything is nice in theory. I had never even had an animal before. It was such a learning curve, a smaller learning curve than having a dog, but a learning curve nonetheless. And on top of that, I was going through a hard time. And on top of that, I have OCD. And it's crazy how quickly new compulsions can start if you're not on top of it, because the whole cleanliness thing, it really got to me for a while. I was beyond stressed about how to be clean and be safe. Like, I kept getting overwhelmed by the thought that I was poisoning myself with his litter, or if his food touched my food, or washing dishes, and it just made a hard time so much harder. And what made it even worse was part of the reason I refrained from getting an animal during COVID or during my early 20s, like a lot of other of my peers did, was because I had a friend who got a puppy when she was 21. And she also got into, or the universe got her into, a super abusive relationship when she was about 21. And there was no way that she could take care of this puppy. And her roommate, who she had gotten this dog with, I guess also wasn't in the spot to like really take care of this puppy. They loved him. They loved him so much. I don't doubt that. But I watched how this puppy got like basically mistreated. Like, it just made me realize that I should not be getting an animal unless I could really do it. The same way I feel about kids. I'm only gonna have kids if I can really do it from all aspects, emotionally, financially, spiritually, whatever, you know? Otherwise, it's just not feasible. And I didn't really do that for this cat. Like, I'm way better off than I would have been years ago. But that's not saying much. Like, I am way better off. This would not have even been possible a couple years ago. I'm doing a lot better now. but I'm still not doing that great. Like a couple of months ago, my hard time got 3 million times harder, and I'm really going through it. And I can't lie, like I look at him and I wonder if this makes sense as a responsibility. But I can't, like, the idea of giving him away is also like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I saw a TikTok where this creator named Simi Moonlight, it was a very brief moment, but she talked about, or she mentioned in a video how she wants her 30s to be about her, and she's always, she's the eldest daughter in an African family, and she wants her 30s to be about her decisions to be solely focused on her, to live for herself. All valid. I feel like the same. But then she briefly mentioned, and I can't believe more people didn't hear this and go, what the hell? But she talked about how she gave her cats up for adoption. And I guess if you realize you can't do it, there's nothing wrong with giving away your cats for adoption, and I guess, and if I take a step back and I look at the whole picture. But I cannot imagine doing that. That just seems wrong, like fundamentally incorrect. And in days where like it's a really bad day and I'm overwhelmed and I'm anxious, I think about it for 1 second, it just makes me spiral further into self-hatred. I think the overall lesson learned is I should have said no, but I didn't say no. And now I have this cat, and I love him, and I care about him deeply, and I know that I show that through my actions. But I'm a girl with a lot of trauma who's been, has a lot of things to deal with, and I think that the trauma makes it hard for me to like feel love for him in a way that I think I should feel love for him. But then also, I'm always wondering, does he love me? Because I didn't grow up with cats, I feel like I don't know how to pet cats. This might be completely irrational, but it's something that really bothers me, It'll be like I'm having a bad day, and this will be the cherry on top of the bad day. Like, I'll try to pet him, and it just seems like I'm not petting him correctly. Like, I have friends who've had cats who pet him so confidently, and he seems like he really enjoys the touch, and then I'll try, and then he just like walks away, and I feel like I'm doing it wrong. And then I feel insecure, which probably makes it worse, or makes me not even want to try, which is probably worse, and it's just stupid cycle. A really dumb situation. And I feel like if he was way more affectionate and cuddly, I think all of this would be easier for me, but he's not, and that doesn't mean he's like, completely like ignorant of me or something. No, that's not the way that you use that word. It's not like he hates me and he like hides from me and he hides from people. Like, he definitely is the personality of the cat personality of, he comes to me, he gets the attention he wants for like a second, he walks away. Sometimes it's nice because if he does happen to sit next to me or something, I'm not going to move. I feel like I can't move, and I end up sitting there for like half an hour more than I intended to, and now I'm half an hour behind in all my tasks. But then him moving is therefore beneficial. But at the same time, I want him to be more cuddly. Like, I want to feel confident in the fact that he loves me and that I'm petting him in a way that's satisfying to him. Like, does he even love me? I can't tell. It makes me feel bad that I can't tell. It's so dumb. But this question haunts me. And I don't really think I'm ever going to get an answer. Maybe in 5 years from now, where I feel more confident about my skills as a pet owner, I'll look back at this and be like, you were just anxious, you idiot. I don't want to talk like that to myself. You were just anxious. And then you got over it. Because I'd look back at other things I used to be anxious about, and now I'm like, okay, you were just anxious and you lacked confidence, but clearly like you grew. So maybe that's what's going to happen here, but that doesn't make the current hard time that I'm experiencing any easier. I'm mad. Like, why does this have to be so hard? Why am I questioning this? I don't know. But that's what I'm thinking. And I needed the void to know.